Port-au-Prince, Haiti, the newest and sorest trouble spot in the Caribbean, is so near explosive violence that the U.S. Department of State orders an evacuation of American nationals from the turbulent dictatorship. Wives and children of servicemen and diplomatic officials are ordered to the mainland.
This was the scene in Haiti in 1963. This came as a result of the then Haitian president, whose name is Francois Duvalier, claiming that someone tried to kidnap his two children. Francois Duvalier sent around his militias to kidnap people or do worse to them, and he claimed that the United States had something to do with the alleged kidnapping. And his son, Jean-Claude Duvalier, would eventually become the Haitian president, and he also made similar claims about the US interfering with his country. And you would be forgiven if you thought that some of the scenes from Haiti today look similar to what happened in the past.
The Caribbean nation is in freefall, without effective governance or protection from gangs that routinely terrorize innocent civilians.
Neighborhood of Canara, which is just north of the capital, Port-au-Prince, were led by a pastor into basically a procession against gang violence, and basically gang members machine gunned them to death.
Given the current security situation and infrastructure challenges, U.S. citizens in Haiti should depart Haiti as soon as possible. Haiti has been reeling since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse 2 years ago, which spurred an increase in kidnappings, unrest, and gang violence.
It's a scene of utter chaos. This passport office in Port-au-Prince overrun with Haitians desperate to make it to the United States.
This country has been mired in chaos for a long time, and some of that chaos is admittedly internal, but a lot of it is external. And some of the external factors are not discussed enough, but I hope to change that, because in the end, Haiti deserves to exist as a country and a sovereign nation without the meddling of the United States and other Western powers. And many people wondered how in the world did Haiti, a country with a functioning military and police officers, could possibly be taken over by street gangs. And so I asked myself that question, and I decided to go do some digging. And I found traces of the US government all over Haiti. And it's quite easy for a street gang to take over a country when the street gang could have been inadvertently trained by the US military. And if you're quite surprised by this new information, well, allow me to show you some other things that caught my eye. Let me ask you a question. What does the Mujahideen, the Kosovo Liberation Army, the anti-Assad rebels in Syria during the Syrian Civil War, ISIS or ISIL, the Nicaraguan Contras, Colombian paramilitary groups, and the gangs in Haiti all have in common? I'll give you a moment. Just think for a second. What could all these groups have in common? The answer to that question is the fact that these groups were all at one point either trained, funded, or given guidance by the CIA and US intelligence agencies and or the military. And much like the history of Hispaniola, which is the continent that Haiti shares with the Dominican Republic, there is a distinct history when it comes to white supremacy and colonization and the destabilization of black countries such as Haiti. We can use the 90s with John Bertrand Aristide as a prime example, because in 1990 Aristide won the election in Haiti to become Haiti's first democratically elected president, and that was a big deal. And not only was it a big deal to the black Haitians that were living in the country, but it was also a big deal to the CIA, who has a history of wanting to destabilize countries such as Haiti that are headed by black leaders, and especially democratically elected black leaders. And you might say, well, that's a very tall claim that the CIA would directly go against a black leader. And my response to that is that there is a wealth of evidence to show that some of the gangs and the militias that existed during the Aristide administration would evolve into the exact same gangs that Haiti is currently dealing with. And say what you will about President Aristide, but when I see headlines from the Washington Post from the 90s and also subsequent articles from the Baltimore Sun on about how the CIA did a mental evaluation on Aristide and claimed that he was mentally unstable and that he was unfit to lead, well, that makes me a little bit suspicious, because some of the reasons the CIA claimed that this man was mentally unstable was that he was claiming that it was hard to run his country when the CIA and its operatives were working hand in hand with the drug trade and also training, arming, and equipping militias and street gangs and also hardcore drug dealers. And these claims were largely flagged off as just conspiracy theories, things to be ignored and not listened to, because as the CIA said, he was mentally unstable, and these claims, these conspiracy theories he had were the proof that he was mentally unstable. But the problem with that is this brother was actually right, because it was in fact true that the CIA had operatives all inside of Haiti during the 90s and even before that, destabilizing the country by pushing illegal drugs such as cocaine and other things that the American government has deemed to be highly illegal onto the streets of Haiti, and that whenever Haitian police would try to interfere, they were brought off oftentimes in American dollars, and those American dollars and the drugs were oftentimes being provided by, you guessed it, the CIA and by extension, the American taxpayer. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, these sound like very tall claims. And the tall claims that I just made were confirmed by this guy named John Kerry. You might have heard of him. He ran against George Bush. That according to declassified documents, news reports, court documents, and simple journalism along with common sense has revealed for years that the CIA and US intelligence agencies have long pushed drugs and worked with drug cartels within Haiti and also some of their street gangs under the guise of them using criminals to catch bigger fish. But the problem with that is that when you prop up illegal activities for so long and you fund it with American taxpayers, well, you can see the problem. And if you don't think there is a connection between what happened in Haiti with former Haitian President Aristide, the Nicaraguan Contras, the Iran-Contra affair, and the CIA, well, what you see on the screen before you is the CIA from their own website admitting that there is in fact a connection. And there's a lot more to that connection, but you also see this here from the CIA's website where they're also admitting that they were in fact against Jean-Claude Duvalier. And given the history of the CIA, if they were only accused of merely kidnapping people, well, that would be a small claim and very believable given their history. Now that we have these declassified documents via a FOIA request that the CIA so generously listed on their own website, well, we now have to wonder, was Jean-Claude Duvalier correct, just like Jean-Bertrand Aristide, when they both claimed that the CIA and US government was interfering in the affairs of Haiti? And now you might be asking yourself, what does Haiti have to do with the Iran-Contra affair? Well, before I explain that, let me explain to you what the Iran-Contra scandal was all about. And the long and short of it is that between 1981 and 1986, senior members of the Reagan administration illegally sold weapons to Iran, and that usually wouldn't be a problem. Except, of course, Iran was under an arms embargo at the time. And you might be asking yourself, why would Ronald Reagan and the Reagan administration go through the trouble of taking backdoor deals with Iran when at the time Iran wasn't exactly friendly with the US? Well, despite Ronald Reagan and his administration publicly stating that they do not negotiate with terrorists, well, when some Americans were taken hostage in Lebanon at that time, Ronald Reagan used this illegal arms deal to secure their release and to also illegally fund a conflict and pick a side. And you might be asking, why was it illegal for Ronald Reagan and the Reagan administration to do this? Well, you see, under the Boland Amendment, which was legislation that was passed in order to limit the US government's involvement and funding to the Nicaraguan Contras in Nicaragua. And the Boland Act was named after Massachusetts Democratic Representative Edward Boland, who was the Boland Act's author. The US government, mainly Ronald Reagan and the US military, along with the Department of of Defense, wanted to interfere in Nicaragua. And so Reagan, as I mentioned before, decided to take some backdoor deals and sell arms to Iran, an enemy of the United States, and still is to this very day, in order to get the funds to fund a group that was known to be anti-Sandinista, which at that time meant they were against the Sandinista government in Nicaragua. And so Ronald Reagan and the US government, along with the CIA, wanted to destabilize the Sandinista government. And so basically what I'm telling you is that the US government tried to overthrow a government by providing arms and weapons to a country that the same government called an enemy. And one of the main central figures in this whole ordeal is Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, who became famous because he took a portion of the money that was made from selling Iran weapons and gave that money to the Contras. And one of the only reasons why we even know this is because of the leaders of Haiti. And coming to find out, a lot of the funds that were gained from the illegal arms deals was being held in countries located in Latin America and also the Caribbean, such as Haiti. And Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, who was once again a US Marine Corps colonel, reportedly held about $12 million in funds that was intended for the Nicaraguan Contras. And the only reason why we know this is because back in 1986, there was some news that US intelligence and the US military received about the Haitian president, who was Jean-Claude Duvalier. That news was that Jean-Claude Duvalier had been overthrown and that he was leaving Haiti. And now you would think that the FBI and CIA and US military would have been concerned about a country in the Caribbean potentially losing its leader and thus the country of Haiti going into chaos. But that was not the concern of the United States, and certainly not the concern of Oliver North. When Oliver North got that news back on January 31st of 1986 that Jean-Claude Duvalier had fled the country, we find out that Oliver North was concerned about some money that was left in Haiti that might have been connected to the Iran-Contra scandal, because that money had to be laundered by Latin American countries and also countries in the Caribbean. But we also find out that this news that came out of Haiti at that time was actually fake news. Jean-Claude Duvalier had not fled the country and he was not living in exile. The phone call between Oliver North and the individuals in Haiti, along with some statements that was made to office workers, we find out that the secret bank account that was holding money for the Contras was located in Port-au-Prince in Haiti, which is the capital. And here is something that you may or may not find interesting. Jean-Claude Duvalier actually ended up fleeing his country. He left Haiti, and that happened back in 1986. And so you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, the same guy that the CIA, FBI, and even Oliver North had dealings with and was doing all kinds of illegal stuff with, and also storing blood money, is also the same guy who gave Oliver North and our intelligence agencies a false scare because they thought that he had fled the country with the money that was being kept in Haiti from the Iran-Contra scandal. Is the same guy who would end up having to flee his country after he and his family ruled Haiti for 28 years. Now, in no way am I justifying anything that Jean-Claude Duvalier or Francois Duvalier have done when they were ruling Haiti. However, be that as it may, I think someone would have to be almost intentionally obtuse to not smell something fishy here. If you want direct evidence that the United States trained and armed the gangs in Haiti, well, we have to go back to the Aristide administration back during the 90s. Like I said before, Aristide was the first democratically elected president in Haiti's history. And shortly after winning the Haitian general election with 67% of the vote, he was ousted in a military coup in 1991 that was headed by the Haitian military. And now you might be thinking, that's very interesting. And I must tell you, there are a lot of interesting things about what happened there, such as Aristide accusing the United States and France of implanting their own operatives and agents among the Haitian military, and that the coup in 1991 that ousted Aristide was orchestrated by none other than the United States. And now you might be thinking to yourself, how does this prove that the US was involved in ousting this man from office and or training the street gangs that were roaming around Haiti's streets? And my response to that is that in 2022, several French and Haitian officials made several statements to the New York Times that pointed the finger towards France and the US for overthrowing Aristide in a 2004 coup d'etat. This man faced not one but two coups. In the 2004 coup, there were a bunch of paramilitary units that came into Haiti from the Dominican Republic, or at least they crossed the Dominican Republic border with Haiti. The former members of the Haitian military or the Haitian army and street gangs that were CIA backed and trained were the same groups that were responsible for the coup that was launched against Aristide. In fact, some have said that both the coups in the 90s and 2000s were both orchestrated by the CIA and US intelligence. And the way that we know this is because of WikiLeaks. We find out that secret US embassy cables and some of the transmissions that were given about Haiti that were coming from the US embassy in Haiti showed that the US government absolutely wanted to destabilize Haiti and remove Aristide as president. As a side note, if you read some of the reasons that were given for so many nations that represented the United Nations to be against one black leader, you would find some interesting stuff. Like, for example, even the Vatican was against Aristide. Why? He was into voodoo, and the Vatican thought that was dangerous. You had diplomats from Guatemala, France, the United States, and other countries who were not interested in Aristide returning to power, despite the fact that this man was the first democratically elected leader in Haiti's history. In fact, there was even discussions and suggestions given to the US about putting, once again, fake charges on Aristide to keep him out of Haiti. So not only did the US train the gangs and the same military who then pulled a coup on this man, but then even when he left the country in exile, the United States, the CIA, and even the United Nations were all against this man and trying to conspire to destabilize Haiti by removing him from power, the first democratically elected leader of that country. If you want specific names as to the people who were responsible for some of the coups and the training of some of the illegal street gangs and also the militias that are found on the streets of Haiti this very day, then all you need to do is look back into history. Like, for example, back in 1994, an independent journalist whose name is Alan Nairn wrote an article that appeared in a publication known as The Nation, where he revealed the United States' involvement in training some of the street gangs and some of the extremist groups that were known to cause violence and also coordinate with the CIA. And the CIA wanted informants and spies in Haiti that could keep an eye out for the Aristide administration and also to stop any left-wing movements. In February of 1996, the Center for Constitutional Rights, or CCR, obtained and published thousands of declassified US documents that demonstrate that the US government knew that these violent groups within Haiti that the CIA was funding and training were committing so many heinous crimes and destabilizing Haiti that it became impossible for the United States to not know about this. In fact, the US government knew about how bad these groups were and still supported them because they were far right on the political spectrum. And if you need some examples of this, well, you have groups such as the Front for the Advancement and Progress of Haiti, aka FRAF. This group was organized back in the early 90s. The founding member of FRAF was a man known as Emmanuel Toto Constant. And Emmanuel Constant wasn't just a Haitian citizen who ran a right-wing paramilitary group in Haiti, but he was also a CIA informant because he was on the payroll for the CIA back in the early 90s. And despite the CIA denying continued payments to Constant, we find out that Emmanuel Constant is not only a born-again Democrat, but it wouldn't be shocking if this man was receiving payments for for a lot longer than the US government cares to admit to. And if you need a prime example of the kind of work that Fraff and Emmanuel Constant got up to, well, do you remember that coup that happened back in the 90s with President Aristide? Well, when Aristide was ousted, we find out that Colonel Patrick Collins, who was with the US Defense Intelligence Agency, or DIA, contacted Emmanuel Constant and Fraff and tried to get him to oppose Aristide because even while living in exile, Aristide was still popular among the Haitian populace. And so if the US wanted to install a more right-wing president in Haiti, or at least a more American-friendly president in Haiti, then they would need Emmanuel Constant and Fraff and other paramilitary groups and also informants that were being paid by the CIA to destroy the image of Aristide. The United States supported the brutality in Haiti that was being inflicted upon the Haitian people by various right-wing paramilitary groups and also former Haitian soldiers in the Haitian army. And we've already talked about those like Emmanuel Constant and Fraff, but you also had people who were in the Haitian army who were going against Aristide and also perpetrating some of the violence that was happening during the Aristide administration. Here is a Washington Post article demonstrating that. We can see here that Emmanuel Constant and General Felipe Biambi was on the CIA payrolls and that various people within Haiti initiated all kinds of violence in order to destabilize the country. Like, for example, then senior Haitian army commander, whose name is once again General Felipe Biambi, were said to be responsible for the assassination of former Haitian Justice Minister Guy Mallory. Former General Biambi accomplished this with the help of Emmanuel Constant and Fraff. So you can already see assassinations, destabilization, anti-Haitian government propaganda, and the CIA paid these people to do these things. And you would think that these people would have been punished for what they did, you know, since the CIA was paying them and knew that these people were destabilizing the country and also assassinating innocent civilians. And if you thought that, well, you would be wrong. Because not only did the CIA protect Emmanuel Constant for the longest time and helped him to avoid justice, even though now currently he is facing justice finally, but they also helped General Biambi by helping him to obtain a lavish luxury home in Panama so that he doesn't have to face what he did in Haiti. So not only did the CIA help these people accomplish these heinous crimes and help them destabilize Haiti and also oust a legitimately elected leader, but they also helped these two individuals and others like them once they committed their crimes. And for the longest time, Emmanuel Constant was held in the US and the US refused to deport him to Haiti so that he could face justice for what he did. And believe it or not, it wasn't until 2020 that the United States finally deported this man back to Haiti. So I guess it does pay to be a stooge and an informant for the CIA if you can avoid justice for this long and or get a fancy lavish home in Panama. So the long and the short of it is that I just gave you two examples of how the CIA and US government not only assisted these two men and others like them in causing some of the same conditions you see in Haiti today, but these two men were given benefits and perks for being criminals. And those benefits and perks were paid for by the American taxpayer. What's also interesting is that General Biambi appeared to have gotten better benefits than American soldiers, and all he had to do was be a criminal and help to end someone's life. While we're on the subject of the military, I want you to listen to the following meme and tell me if you recognize it, because there's something about this meme that would stand out to you if you ever served in the US military, like I did.
Where we come from, we are the police, the police of Haiti, nice Haiti, beautiful Haiti.
Let's pause it right here, and I want to remind you that this is a French-speaking country. Yes, a lot of people speak English in Haiti, but the vast majority probably speaks French. So the fact that these Haitian police officers are seen on video singing a military cadence that sounds awfully familiar is quite interesting. I want you to hear this tape from the Marine Corps, and I want you to see if you notice any similarities.
We're dedicated, ha, 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 yeah, ha, yeah, ha. Everywhere we go, people wanna know island. We come from an island. Motivated island. A motivated island. Where we come from. Where we come from. We are the police. We are the police. The police of Haiti. The police of Haiti. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. People wanna know. People wanna know. Who we are. Who we are. Where we come from. We are the police. The police of Haiti. The police of Haiti.
Now you might be asking, why did we go through that whole experiment? Well, I showed you those two songs so that you could understand the context behind this picture of this man. And his name is Jimmy Chauvelet. He is arguably the most powerful gang leader in Haiti, and Haiti is currently being controlled by gangs. This man runs a gang known as the G9, and you'll never guess what his former occupation was.
Once a Haitian police officer, he is now the leader of a powerful confederation of gangs called G9, which controls much of Port-au-Prince and its suburbs.
And now the fact that this man was a police officer who became arguably the most powerful gang leader in all of Haiti right now is not an accident, because the US military, for the longest time since the 90s and the first coup with Aristide, conducted Operation Uphold Democracy under the Clinton administration, in which they sent US troops to Haiti. And while they were there, they trained the Haitian police. And the training of Haitian police continued even after Operation Uphold Democracy. If you gave that many people US military training to the point where Jimmy Chauvelet is literally wearing an outfit that you would find in the US military, and if you couple that with the CIA giving informants and criminals money to commit crimes over the years, then you create the perfect powder keg for the current reality in Haiti. The consequences of US meddling in Haiti and the training and arming of street gangs and drug cartels has led to not only the chaos that you see on the streets, but the assassination of the man who's supposed to be the Haitian president right now. On July the 7th of 2021, Jovenel Moïse was assassinated. And I've mentioned military training a lot during this video, but you'll get the reasons why in just a moment. And now almost 30 people were arrested in connection to what happened to Jovenel Moïse. However, out of all the people who were arrested, multiple people were from Colombia. And that is significant because those people had trained with the US military, which would explain how they got past a presidential security detail. Now, I'm not suggesting that is automatic proof that the CIA and US military was involved in what happened to Jovenel Moïse. But I can say that when it comes to the leaders of Haiti, repeatedly, those factors certainly appear to be an issue. And that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining me, man. That video took forever to make, and I gotta tell you, when I was doing the research for this video, I was really shocked at how much stuff was out there and how much the media hasn't really been covering this stuff. And I was really shocked when I went on YouTube and TikTok and other social media pages, and I noticed that there was hardly anyone talking about this. That was crazy to me because there was so much evidence that you could have went with. This is easy content. You don't have to really work that hard because guess what? It's all laid out for you. All you gotta do is simply make the content and people will actually watch it. But I really hope that this video shed some light as to what happened in Haiti, and I really hope that it did Haiti some justice. Until next time, horns up, peace out, good night, and good luck.